It's raining. Well, we might not have the greatest weather for our flight here. Our flight is from Panama. Exactly sure what town is this. Google Maps. We are in Enrique. Okay, we're in David. We're close to David, Panama. We're going to Panama Pacifico Airport. And it's raining outside. And I'm doing a test 1, 2, 3, test 1, test 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, test. Good, okay, you hear it. Boy, this is not good weather. This is not good weather. Alrighty, well, we got to do this because it's the call with action. So anyway, we got Panama. I'm going to go ahead and real quickly, I'm on the runway. Press this blue button here and it gives you the type, the characters. MPDA as David, Enrique Melec International as enter. We'll let them choose it. We're already on the runway, and we're going to climb to 10,000 feet. We have some beautiful weather here. 10,000 feet is our assigned altitude, and we are going en route. Now let me go ahead and put in a destination. So the destination is Mike Papa Alpha, and that's not right. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. That would be Mike Papa Alpha. That's Pacifico. Let's see, it's an Air Force base. Mike Papa Alpha. Airport's in Panama. Mike Papa Alpha. Now, Mike Papa Alpha, Howard Air Force Base. Well, let's press enter and see what happens here. And our en route, okay, none, our en route. Okay, so yeah, that apparently it is an Air Force base. Well, of course, it's the beginning of the Panama Canal, so I would imagine that it would still be an Air Force base. And we are going to use a waypoint, which is Mike Papa Golf Sierra, I think. Let's see if it even enters it in there. Okay, let's see what that was. We are looking at Mike Papa Golf Sierra. Mike Papa Golf Sierra. Alrighty. Mike Papa Golf Sierra, it says it doesn't exist. Well, it exists in Sky Vector. So let's go ahead and how about if we just put that in our plan. How about go ahead and clear this, enter, and we want to, I'm not wanting to fly over these mountains here, but I do want to see this mountain here. So we put it there. It has Rio Hato. Let's go ahead and put that in there. RHT. So I guess that would be that right there. So let's see if we can put RHT in there. RHT. Okay, there. I think there's a plane flying over me. Press enter. Okay, that'll work. And then flight plan, that'll go. And what we do, we've already been cleared for takeoff, so I went and pressed B on my keyboard to set the altimeter, because apparently, I mean, in real life they already gave me the altimeter, but this is the kind of weather that we're looking at. Apparently that's the plane right there that just flew over. So anyway, let's get in the air. So I've got the brake on, we'll take the brake off. Got all the lights on, might as well have the taxi on too so we can be seen in the rain. And I'm going to just real quickly. So the wind is 183 at 12. Straight out departure approved. So here we go. I'll bring it down just a little bit there. And off you go. Off you go. Off you go. I've got everything set up. Okay, release on the brakes. A little bit of right rudder here. CMP15. Okay, now the airspeed is alive. We got a pretty big rollout here. We got it 27 degrees. So 55 will rotate. Hope we don't crash into that plane there. Keep it about 7 degrees or so. And then I engaged my autopilot. That keeps my roll, my pitch. I'm going to synchronize my heading. Press the button that synchronizes the heading. Flight level change. We'll go ahead and bring that. And we'll bring that speed down to about 75, which is our ideal. And we'll go ahead and hit nav and see if we can follow the nav. Yep, we are on the nav. We'll go ahead and now I'm not seeing any weather on my radar at all. It's interesting. On NextRad. I do believe I have my NextRad on. Let's get map options. NextRad is on, but I'm not seeing any weather on my NextRad. However, there's quite a bit of weather in it. So anyway, we are on our way. Keep this around the Y, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this down a little bit, the nose down to about 75 knots. That keeps us around the Y, which is our best rate of climb. R is rotate, X is best angle of climb, the G is your best glide speed, and your Y is your best rate of climb. Alright, we're getting out of the weather now. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. My tablet is real slow. My tablet, I think I just closed it.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Malik Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie, frequency change.
And we'll go ahead and request flight following here.
Panama approach Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie is type Cessna Skyhawk 4 miles east of Malik, 2,500 feet.
And we're climbing at 10,000.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Panama
Squawk
approach.
0367.
0367.
So transponder code as 0367.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie radar contact 5 miles east of Malik, 2,800 feet.
2984.
2984.
2984. And then we'll
Roger
acknowledge
Cessna
that.
7 Charlie Charlie.
And we're starting to rise above the clouds now. Don't know if we're going to see too much landscape. And again, I don't have any, for whatever reason, I'll back this out. I don't have any, okay, now, earlier I didn't have any weather. But it looks like most of the weather that we're encountering right now is where we are. and we're going to just be climbing over the ridge of these mountains here. The highest mountain that is in Panama is already behind us, and that was the Volcan Baru, what they call Volcan Baru, which is behind us, and you can't even see it now. That's it right there. That's probably it right there. That's Volcan Baru, which is about 11,500 feet, and they pronounce their volcano, we would say Volcano Baru, but they call it Volcan Baru. So we do have some mountains ahead of us, but we should be well clear of the mountains when we get up there. Now backing off a little bit on my mixture right here. We're at about 4,000 feet, and we can look at our fuel flow right here. This is the fuel flow graph. We got the propeller running full, maximum speed, and I only gave us a half a tank of fuel. I think that's going to be enough. If not, we can always do the underway in-flight refueling, which, by the way, I think I was reading the other day that the first in-flight fueling was done in 1923, about 100 years ago. I always like to check, news stories from 100 years ago, and I can find a lot of that on Bing. I use Bing AI a lot to find information now, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You can talk to Bing AI, kind of like you would a person. And so you can say, give me some news stories about 100 years ago, 1923, August 2nd. And it'll tell you some news stories. And say, I think there was one, it was maybe a couple of days ago, or yesterday, it could have been yesterday. But I was reading that it was the first in-flight refueling, airborne in-flight refueling. And when you see stuff like that with AI, you can say, well, tell me more about that. And they'll already know that you're talking about that, it's pretty cool. Anyway, got a lot of clouds below us. I am monitoring my chat, so if there's anybody logging on and you want to chat on YouTube, I can certainly reply to you. Won't be able to type back, but I can reply to you. But just to give you a scope of what we're doing here, this is our flight path right here. This is Google Maps. I like to try to line up Google Maps there. Let's see if I can line it up there. Google Maps. Okay. So we're flying right along here, right onto this right here, this weather station there, and then we're going to be flying right over to here, and it's about an hour and 49 minutes. We have some mountains there, and with Google Maps you can kind of zoom in. That one Vulcan that I was talking about, Vulcan Baru, is back over here. I believe that's it right there. Vulcan, where's Vulcan Baru? It just says Vulcan. This is it right here. Yeah, Vulcan Baru, there we go. So that's the highest mountain. That's well behind us now. So we want to look at C172. We just left the city of David, And then Cerro Santiago, we'll talk about some of that. But anyway, let's get back into the plane here. We're climbing. I said something about Google and my tablet said, "Oh, I'm here." I didn't say HEY Google. So I'm kind of like a child. Sometimes you have to spell things out. Alrighty. Hey Bing, what can you tell us about the city of David in Panama? That's behind us.
Searching for City of David, Panama.
So anyway.
Hi there.
Hi.
The City of David is a city in the west of Panama
It is?
and the capital of the province of Chiriquí. It has an estimated population of 82,907 inhabitants as of 2013. It is Panama's largest city outside of the Panama City metropolitan area and an important commercial center, served by the Pacific Ocean seaports of Pedregal and Porto Armuelles on the Gulf of Chiriquí and by Enrique Malek Airport. It was founded in 1602 by the governor Juan Lopez de Siqueira and named after the biblical King David. The city has a history of political and cultural separatism and is known for its saddles and harnesses. It is also a gateway to explore the natural attractions of Chiriquí province, such as the Baru volcano, the Boquete Valley, and the La Amistad International Park. I hope this information was helpful.
It was. Thank you very much. So, that's the city of David. So that was quite a while ago there. Pacific Ocean there ahead of us. Or not to the ahead of us, to the right of us. We are now at about 7,800 feet. We should be at altitude here shortly. And then what we'll talk about after that, once we reach altitude, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about Panama. Chiripo National Park, I want to talk about that. Chiripo National Park, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, we'll see. But we'll talk about that once we get to altitude. And that is what we're looking at right now, is Chiripo National Park. And if you look above this right here, I'm thinking, I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that that's the Atlantic Ocean over there. So, to the left, or to the right, we have the Pacific Ocean, and to the left, we have the Atlantic Ocean. There is a mountain, too. I think maybe it's the volcano there, but there's a point up there where you can see both the Atlantic and the Pacific from one vantage point. $8,500, climbing about 450 feet a minute at an 11 knot headwind. So I wanted to look real quick again at the Google Maps here. So we left David, and then now here is Cerro Cerro Santiago. I believe that's it. That's also the national park over there. And then we have the Parque National Santa Fe. Parque National Santa Fe. Yeah, that's the Atlantic. Atlantic on that side, Pacific on this side. And we'll talk a little bit about the Panama Canal too once we approach it. But the next flight, what we want to do is just a quick flight. It'll be the length of the Panama Canal from the west coast, you know, from the Pacific coast to the Atlantic coast and back to the Pacific coast. $9,400, about another minute, a little over a minute, and we will be at altitude. And then what we'll do is we'll talk about the park there. A lot of jungle down below, some inhabited areas,
Charlie, contact
really not
Panama
a
Center
whole
on
lot.
120.3. Good day.
So Panama Center at knowledge hand.
120.3 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Good day.
Panama Center Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 9,700 feet.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Panama Center
2987.
29.87.
So
Continue
we'll
as
bring
planned.
that up. The pressure's going up a little bit. 2987. So hopefully we'll be out of the bad weather here. So we are at 9,800, almost to flight level 10 or 10,000. Okay, our altitude select has been captured.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie contact Panama approach on 119.7.
Panama
Good
approach.
day.
119.7 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie. Panama approach Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 10,000
So once we
feet.
get straight down here,
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie
2988.
Panama approach altimeter 29.88.
Bring that
Continue
up.
as planned.
2988. And we are pretty much settling in now at our cruising speed. I have the prop just at about to the top there. I've got the mixture pulled back quite a bit. So we're burning as lean as we can. Our fuel flow graph looks good. Now what I want to do is I want to get some information on our destination. So we'll press enter right there. We have a bunch of frequencies here. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down. It doesn't look like we have. Doesn't look like we have an ATIS. Just several centers and approaches, ground. I don't see an ATIS at all. So anyway, we got runway 18 and runway 36. So back to the flight plan here. We'll bring this up. See if we've got some weather there. So we got the weather is 3:30 at 04. So 3:30, that would be in this direction right here where that 33 is. And so what we want to do is, I'm just playing it by ear now. They might tell us something different. But I'm going to set a procedure for runway 36. And we'll do an RNAV GPS RNAV LNAV 36. And so what we have right here, can I back up and press enter right here? I got Diego or Ropo. I want to go to Ropo. We'll encounter Ropo before we will Diego. Diego looks like pretty well off the sea. So that'll be our initial approach fix. Minimums, we don't worry about that right now. In real life you would. I'm going to press load right here. Okay, and so our final approach fix calls for 1800. So what we'll do right now is we'll probably go direct to Ropo. But we'll cross that bridge whenever we get closer. But the final approach fix is calling for 1800. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign our altitude now to 1800. We'll bring this down to 1800. And then now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press this vertical navigation button. So watch what happens right here. Press the vertical navigation so our vertical path is now low. And then what we'll do is we will, in about an hour, we'll start descending to our first fixes Ropo at 3,200 feet. And
Going to 120.3 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie. Panama Center Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 10,000 feet.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Panama Center
Another 8-9. So keep climbing. That's good
continue
news.
as planned.
What can you tell us about the Chiripo National Park in Panama? I think I spelled it right.
Searching for Chiripo National Park, Panama. I'm sorry, but there is no Chiripo National Park in Panama.
Yeah, there is.
Chiripo National Park is a national park in Costa Rica, not Panama.
No, not looking for the one in Costa Rica. There is a Chiripo. Okay, let's see here. Google Maps. Now how come on Google Maps in my phone it shows up as Chiripo? Or did I... Okay, that's Chiripo National Park there. I did. Okay, you're right there, Bing. So that would be Cerro Santiago. What can you tell us about Cerro Santiago, Panama? Let's see if I spelled it right.
Searching for Cerro Santiago, Panama. Cerro Santiago is a popular big...
Okay. I am not pronouncing it correctly. I can't type it in because I won't get an audible. Cerro. Tell us about Cerro Santiago, Panama.
Searching for Cerro Santiago, Panama.
Cerro. Can you tell us about CERRO Santiago, Panama?
Searching for Cerro Santiago,
Yeah.
Panama.
That one.
Sure, I can tell you about Cerro Santiago, Panama.
They're so nice.
Cerro Santiago is a mountain in Panama located in the Central Cordillera, within the Gay Bugle region. It has a height of 2,072 meters above sea level, and its summit is the border between the districts of Canquintu, Nolduama, and Muna. It was founded in 1602 by the governor Juan Lopez de Siqueira, and named after the biblical King David. The mountain is part of the Talamanca mountain range, which extends from Costa Rica to Panama. The area is rich in biodiversity and cultural diversity, as it is home to several indigenous groups, such as the Ngabe, the Bugle, the Naso, and the Bribri. The mountain is also a popular destination for hikers and nature lovers who want to enjoy the scenic views and the diverse ecosystems, such as cloud forests, oak forests, Paramo, and glacial lakes. Here is a map of Cerro Santiago and its surroundings. I hope you enjoyed learning about this beautiful place.
Can you see both the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean from there?
Searching for, can you see both the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean from Panama?
Well, from Panama you can, but...
Yes, it is possible to see both the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean from Panama, but only from certain locations and under certain conditions. According to some sources, there are 3 places in Panama where you can see both oceans at the same time. Volcan Baru, this is the highest peak in Panama, located in the Chiriquí province. It is a stratovolcano that rises 11,398 feet above sea level.
And that's behind.
From the summit, you can see the Caribbean Sea to the east and the Pacific Ocean to the west if the weather is clear and the coast is not fogged in.
It's over there.
It is a popular destination for hikers and nature lovers who want to enjoy the scenic views and the diverse ecosystems. You need to leave before midnight and hike for about 6 to 7 hours to reach the top before sunrise. Cerro Gif, this is a mountain near Panama City, located in the Central Cordillera. It has a height of 3,280 feet above sea level. From here, you can also see both oceans from the same spot, but only on a very clear day with no clouds or haze. It is less crowded and less challenging than Volcan Baru, but still offers a beautiful panorama of the surrounding landscape. Panama Canal, this is a man-made waterway that connects the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans across the Isthmus of Panama. It is one of the most important engineering feats in history, as it allows ships to travel between the 2 oceans without having to go around South America. Because Panama makes an S-curve there and runs southwest to northeast, it is possible to watch the sunrise from the Pacific side and set in the Atlantic side. However, you cannot see both oceans at once from the canal itself, as it is too low and too narrow. I hope this answer was helpful and informative.
Wouldn't the sun rise in the Atlantic and set in the Pacific?
No, the sun does not rise in the Atlantic and set in the Pacific in Panama. It is the other way around. This is because Panama is located in the northern hemisphere, and the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. However, Panama is not aligned with the cardinal directions of north, south, east, and west. Instead, it makes an S-curve there and runs southwest to northeast. This means that the Pacific coast of Panama is actually to the south of the Atlantic coast, and vice versa. Therefore, the sun rises from the Pacific side and sets in the Atlantic side. Here is a map of Panama that shows its orientation. I hope this clarifies your confusion. Do you have any other questions about Panama or its geography?
Tell us about Cerro Jeffy.
Searching for Sarah Jaffe.
Not Sarah, Cerro. Tell us about Cerro Jeffy, Panama. That's the route.
Searching for several Jeffy, Panama. I'm sorry.
CERROJEFE. Tell us about CERROJEFE, Panama.
Searching for Sarajevo, Panama.
Alright, there we go. So that's going to be what we're approaching here.
Sarajevo is a mountain in Panama, located in the north of the province of Panama and part of the watershed of the Panama Canal and the Shakers National Park. It has a height of 1,007 meters, 3,304 feet, and is the highest mountain in the province of Panama. It has a rich biodiversity, with 12% of the endemic plants of the country. Here are some interesting facts about Sarajevo that you might not know. Sarajevo means chief mountain in Spanish, and it is named after a local indigenous leader who resisted the Spanish colonization. Sarajevo is one of the few places in Panama where you can see both the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans from the same spot, but only on a very clear day with no clouds or haze. Sarajevo is home to several rare and endangered species of birds, such as the resplendent quetzal, the black guan, and the yellow-eared toucanet. Sarajevo is also a popular destination for hikers and nature lovers who want to enjoy the scenic views and the diverse ecosystems, such as cloud forests, oak forests, Paramo, and glacial lakes. I hope you enjoyed learning about this beautiful place. Do you have any other questions about Panama or its geography? Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I do. I'll ask later. Thanks, Bing. Alrighty. So we are facing a 14 knot headwind at 079. We are all set up for our landing. We've got everything set up to top descent. We have about 57 minutes. So what we'll do is we will go to our first waypoint right there, which is 50 minutes away from that. And then we'll start taking a left there. You know, it's just interesting though how this is looking at the orientation of the plane right here. And so we got the sunrise is in the east and then sets in the west. What they're saying that the sun rises in the Pacific and sets in the Atlantic. That still escapes me on how that's working. I don't know. We are pretty much going due east right now. And if you look at the map here, sky vector right here. So they're saying that the sun rises. I guess that's the Atlantic right there. Maybe they're talking about this part of the Atlantic. The sun rises. It said that the sun rises in the Pacific. Okay, well there's the Pacific right there. We are headed this way. And sets in the Atlantic? Wouldn't it rise in the Pacific and set in the Pacific? Anyway, I'm really confused about that. But anyway, we have some thunderstorms behind us. That's what these blue things are. It's a thunderstorm. This has a cloud top of about 50,000 feet. And this one right here, about 50,000, 60,000 feet for that one right there. And so we took off in some stormy weather, but it looks like the weather where we're going isn't going to be bad at all. At least that's my hope. And looking at our radar, well, we got a little bit of weather off to our right. It doesn't look like there's too bad of weather there where we're going. I like to kind of sit up in the seat here and look around. Trim is good. Our fuel flow right now so we got our fuel flow is about 8.8 gallons per hour. We have about an hour left. We've used 5.8. That's a lot of that was from the climb. We got 22 gallons remaining, so we should have plenty of fuel for the flight. We'll use probably about maybe another 8 or so gallons. So that brings us down to about 14 gallons remaining when the flight is done. We'll see how accurate this is at the end of the flight there. A little bit of population down there. Let's go ahead and jump in our drone here, and got something going on here. Let's see. F6 speeds up our drone. Just a tiny little village out here in the middle of nowhere. I don't see any roads going to it. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of agriculture. And not a whole lot else going on here. We're over a lot of jungle. I don't see any major roads or anything around where we are at all. So that's interesting, that just that little village there. I wonder if some indigenous people live there. Down here we have a little bit of something as well. Take a look down here. Just a small little road there. What can you tell us about Panama?
Searching for Panama. Panama is a fascinating country that has a lot to offer to visitors and locals alike. It is a transcontinental nation that connects North and South America and has coasts on both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It is famous for its canal, which is one of the most important engineering feats in history, as it allows ships to travel between the two oceans without having to go around South America. Panama is also known for its natural beauty, its diverse culture, and its vibrant music. Here are some of the things that you can learn about Panama. Panama has a rich history that dates back to the pre-Columbian era, when it was inhabited by various indigenous groups, such as the Guaymi, Cuna, and Chaco. Panama was the first Spanish colony on the Pacific coast of the Americas, and it played a crucial role in the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire and the trade of gold and silver. Panama became independent from Spain in 1821 and joined the Republic of Gran Colombia, a union of Nueva Granada, Ecuador, and Venezuela. After Gran Colombia dissolved in 1831, Panama remained part of Colombia until 1903, when it seceded with the support of the United States, which wanted to build a canal across the isthmus. The Panama Canal was completed in 1914 and transferred to Panama in 1999. Panama has also experienced political and social turmoil, such as military dictatorships, coups, invasions, and civil unrest. It has a tropical climate with 2 seasons, dry and rainy. Panama is home to more than 10,000 species of plants and animals, many of which are endemic or endangered. Some of the most notable wildlife include the harpy eagle, the national bird, the golden frog, a symbol of good luck, the jaguar, the largest cat in the Americas, and the 3-toed sloth, one of the slowest animals in the world. Panama also has several natural attractions that attract tourists and adventurers, such as the Baru volcano, the highest point in the country, the Boquete Valley, a paradise for coffee lovers, and the La Amistad International Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that spans across Panama and Costa Rica. Panama has a multicultural society that reflects its history and location. The population is composed of mestizos, mixed white and indigenous people, such as the Ngay Bugle, Cuna, Embrewanan, Naso Terribe, and Bribri, blacks, descendants of African slaves and immigrants from the Caribbean, mulattoes, mixed white and black, whites, mostly of Spanish origin, and others, such as Chinese, Indians, Arabs, Jews, and Americans. The official language is Spanish, but many people also speak English or indigenous languages. The dominant religion is Christianity, mostly Roman Catholicism, but there are also minorities of other faiths or no religion. The culture is influenced by Spanish, African, Native American, European, American, and Caribbean elements. Panama has a vibrant music scene that reflects its diversity and creativity. Some of the most popular genres include salsa, merengue, cumbia, reggae, and español, also known as plena reggaeton.
Small little village here. Dirt road. I wonder if they're doing some digging there. Let's see if we can find this on Google Maps. Google Maps, put on the layers there. So we are probably somewhere, well, I don't know. It would be like finding a needle in a haystack, really. Could be this right here, actually. No, that looks like a dam there. I think we're past that point, though. We are probably right around somewhere around here. And take a look here. Yeah, we're about halfway, almost halfway to Romeo Hotel Tango. And so looking at the map here, probably right around this area right here. So we look at Google Maps here, we try to line this up with that one. That's pretty close. So right around here, I don't know if this has a grid or not, but anyway. So we are in this, pretty much in this area right here, which would be near Santa Fe, Canazas. That looks like a pretty big town there. Mountainous roads, jungle, very beautiful area, no doubt. Very warm. So that would be, again, where was I? Canals. That's about where we are right now. We got Santiago, Panama coming up. In that area. There might be canals down there, I'm not sure. The goal with these flights is to fly all the way down to the southern tip of South America and back. And all in this, well, most of it in this Cessna 172. Now, whenever we get into some of the colder climates, the Cessna 172 here doesn't have any de-icing. The only de-icing it has is that pitot heat de-icer, prevent your pitot heat from, or your pitot from freezing up. And what your pitot is you look at the plane right here. It's this little thing right there. And what that does, it's a tube that measures your airspeed, and it's of course very important whenever you're flying to know what your knots indicated airspeed is. No way of knowing otherwise, except through the, flowing through the air. And so that your pitot determines all of that. And so whenever we get to colder climates, what we're going to do is we're going to fly in a Cessna 208 Grand Caravan, because that has de-icing for your windshield, for your airframe, and your pitot tube. And we got looks like a lake right here. Lake right there, pretty big lake. I'm wanting to know what lake that is. See if we can find out on Google Maps. Go ahead and bring that to, we'll just go ahead and bring it to default. I'm not seeing the lake. Probably that one right there. Doesn't even have any pictures of it. It's just a remote lake out in the middle of nowhere. Lake Vaguada. Lake Vaguada. And that would be this lake right here, Lake Vaguada. Out in the middle of nowhere, basically. We're going to be flying over it. We'll be able to, I wonder if that's it right there. See if Bing knows anything about it. It doesn't look like there's even any Google pictures from visitors. What can you tell us about Lake Guevara, Panama?
Searching for Lake Guevara, Panama.
Not Lake Guevara.
Lake Guevara is not a real lake in Panama.
Okay. Is there a Lake Guevara, Panama? Bing is acting up. Is there a Lake Guevara, Panama?
Searching for
Not
Lake Guevara,
Gravada.
Panama.
Gua. Is there a Lake Guevara, Panama?
Searching for Lake Guevara, Panama.
Not Gavana. Okay. No, it's not finding it, but that's what it is right there. Lake Vigwada. Maybe I can pronounce it correctly. Is there a Lake Vigwada, Panama? We know there is, but
Searching for Lake Vigwada, Panama. No, there is no Lake Vigwada in Panama. The search results do not show any lake with that name in Panama. The closest match is Lake Gatun, which is an artificial lake that forms an integral 21-mile, 33-kilometer section of
it's
the Panama
spelling it
Canal.
differently.
It's
But
the
anyway,
largest
Lake Veguada. See if I type it in and maybe I can ask it to tell us more about the lake. Okay, it's not finding it even with that spelling. So, okay, well anyway, we have found something that Bing doesn't know about yet. And probably not a whole lot of people either. But the only reason why we know about it is because we can see it on Google Maps. It's just a small little lake there on our way to Panama. And again, there are no pictures of Lake Guevara. So definitely out in the remote. There seems to be some roads though. Got roads going that way. This is real-time weather. What time is it in Panama right now?
Searching for time in Panama. The current time in Panama is 5:49 p.m. on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023. Panama observes Eastern Standard Time, EST, all year, which is UTC minus 5 hours.
So what time is the sun going to set?
Searching for sunset time in Panama. The sun will set in Panama at 6:39 p.m. today, August 2nd, 2023. This is based on the sunrise and sunset times for Panama City, the capital of Panama.
Okay, 6:39. The current time is 4:50. So we should be on the ground well before sunset. there, ladies and gentlemen, is Lake Biguada. Let's see if we can find it on our. Let's straighten it out here. Speed up the drone here. So it's just a remote little lake here. There are some roads that are leading down to here. Oh, not a very big lake at all. There are a few buildings here. Now again, this is all satellite data, so from the satellite, it has determined that there are some small habitations here. No, not a very big lake at all, but you can see there onto the horizon in this area right here, that is the Atlantic. And not really able to, well, we can see some of the Pacific right here. How much of Panama is jungle?
Searching for Panama jungle percentage. According to Wikipedia, around 40% of Panama's land area is covered by jungles, which are home to a rich biodiversity of plants and animals. However, deforestation is a serious threat to the rainforest ecosystems, and Panama has lost more than half of its forest cover since the 1940s.
That's amazing, half of it. Although, that's probably some of the deforestation right there, some of the results of the deforestation you can see right there. So, before 1940, a lot of this was just untouched. Now what we're going to be doing later on as we're flying further south is we are going to be going through the Darien Gap. And the Darien Gap is an area of jungle. The Pan American Highway is cut off. There is no major road that goes through the Darien Gap. And stay tuned in a future episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator flying down to South America. We will talk about the Darien Gap. And a lot of that area is untouched. Just thousands and thousands of miles of, I don't know about thousands, but many, many miles of untouched, dense jungle. But down below, of course, we do have a lot of jungle as well. I'm curious as to this area right here, whether it got snow or not. It almost looks like snow. I wonder if we can get the drone to go that far. Straighten it out. Yep. Alright, what happened? I think when I press the joystick it turns it around or does something else to it. I am not good with Xbox controllers. But this almost looks like it's snow, but I would think snow would be non-existent in this area. Maybe that's from a satellite photograph. wonder if we can find that. See if we can find that on Google Maps here. Layers. Yeah, I'm not finding any kind of snow. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. Probably just a cloud or something that was captured by the satellite. Okay, we are 37.4 nautical miles from our first waypoint, Romeo Hotel Tango, about 20 minutes away, and we are about 26 minutes away from our top of descent. And so these are some pretty lonely skies. We contacted Panama Approach, and we haven't heard anything. So there are no other airplanes flying over in our area that we can tell, or that's being picked up anyway by going to SkyVector, but that's picked up by ATC, not SkyVector. We wanted to go to Flight Radar 24, and it should still be pretty much where we're, okay, so we are headed toward Panama, but in this area right here, there's one plane right there flying from Mexico City, from Bogota to Mexico City. There's another one here going from Cali to San Andres Island. And we have another plane here going from Bogota to Panama City. Panama City seems to be a little busy here. We got a small plane. That's not us. That's the type of plane. Well, that's a 7182Q Skylane. We're in a Skyhawk. And that one's just doing some flying around here. Just checking out the Panama Canal. And that's what we'll do in our next flight. Is what we'll do is we'll just fly down Panama Canal, which is this right here. We'll fly over it actually whenever we get close. But Panama Canal, you can see why they built this. You can see there's a lot of water right there. The Gatun Lake, and then you know, on over to the Atlantic Ocean. So it's either that or fly all or ship all the way down here. So you can see why Teddy Roosevelt back in the early 1900s was so interested in building the Panama Canal.
Charlie, contact Panama approach on 119.7. Good day.
119.7
for Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Good day.
Panama approach Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 10,000 feet.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Panama approach altimeter 29.85.
Drop a little bit.
Continue as planned. Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie contact Panama Center on 120.3. Good day.
120.3 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie. Panama Center Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 10,000 feet.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Panama Center altimeter 29.85. Continue as planned. Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie contact Panama.
We must be like
in
between the spokes.
Good day.
going to 119.7 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
I'll just wait. I'm not going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I wanted to look at this right here. And we'll talk about this. It looks like a shrimp farm. So we'll go ahead and pause it right here. And we'll look at where we are here. That would be in this area right here. We go, okay, that's flight radar 24. So this right here, see if we can find the information on that. It says NATA. Yeah, it doesn't, that must be just a church or something, I don't know. But layers here. Sometimes you can see the, so that it's the Agua Dulce district. So that's what we're looking at here, Agua Dulce. Agua Dulce district. Let's see if Bing has anything on this. Can you tell us anything about the Agua Dulce district, Panama?
Searching for Agua Dulce District, Panama.
Dulce?
Sure, I can tell you some things about the Agua Dulce District, Panama. It is a district of Cockle Province in Panama, with a population of 39,290 according to the 2000 census. The district covers a total area of 466 square kilometers, and its capital is the city of Agua Dulce. The district is an industrial zone dedicated to process cane sugar, rice, animal feed, shrimp, and salt production via evaporation of seawater. It also has some places of interest such as Agua Dulce Port, Agua Dulce Airport, Saleo Beach, and El Rompio Cove. Some cultural events that take place in the district are the Agua Dulce's founding anniversary in October, the Festival of St. John in June, and the carnivals. The district also has a center for fine arts education and a youth symphony orchestra. I hope this information was helpful.
It was. Thank you very much. So that is what we're looking at here. This is the Agua Dulce district, where there's sugar cane, and those right there are definitely shrimp farms. And they were saying that Mexico was number 3 in shrimp farms, and I would imagine, of course, you know, going further south, you know, you have countries like Panama taking advantage of the shrimp industry as well. So what we're looking at here on the map is this right here. This area right here. What I like to do a lot whenever I'm flying is just to look out the window. And most of the time, whenever I'm in a commercial airline, I like to look out the window. I get a window seat. Later on in the year, we got a planned flight to go to Germany, visit my relatives in Germany, and we're going to be flying from Seattle to Frankfurt, and we're going to be going over much of Canada and then over Greenland, and then we'll actually even be able to see Iceland, and straight to Frankfurt. About a 10.5-hour flight. And we're going to be in an Airbus A330, and I'm going to be in seat 44A. My wife will be right next to me in seat 44C. The way the Airbus 330 is configured is 2 seats, 3 seats, and then 2 seats with 2 aisles. And so we got that both on the way there and on the way back. And so be on the same side as the pilot on the left side of the plane. And so on the way there, we'll be looking mostly north. And then, of course, as we cross the Arctic Circle and over Greenland and then start heading down, we'll be looking more east. So more west taking off, and then north, and then more east as we arrive in Frankfurt. I'm really looking forward to it. We've done that flight several times already. And we use Condor Airlines. It's a little bit more. Hey, look at that. There's some windmills down there. But it's a little bit more economical than Lufthansa. Condor is a subsidiary of Lufthansa. And Condor Airlines has actually been around for quite a while. Although it's changed hands. But the originally established in December of 1955, 21 December of 55. Its initial fleet consisted of 3 36-passenger Vickers VC-1 aircraft, Viking aircraft. The airline's first tourist-oriented flight commenced on 29 March 1956. And its main base, of course, is Frankfurt, or it was. I'm sure it still is today. Look real quickly at we got 6 minutes to our destination, our first waypoint there. Flying all along the coast here. 10 nautical miles. Do have a little bit of weather here. Not too bad though. Again, real-time time, real-time weather. Looks like some beaches here. I don't know if Google Maps will have them on there. Doesn't look like there's any kind of tourist destinations here. Looks like a small little community over here. Okay, and I don't know if you can find this on Google Maps. That would be in this area right over here, I think. There's a Playa Coronado, Playa Coronado. So a little bit of a tourist destination here. That might be what we're looking at, I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. Little dragon there. So there's a lot of videos here, but I don't play the videos. So that's Playa Coronado. And then we have Panama City there. So anyway, what we're looking at here is probably this right here. That's what this is. That's what we're looking at right now. And so that would be a beach resort. Most of that is a resort. Did not want to start that. Wanted to go back here, close that. So this right here is the Buenaventura Golf and Beach Resort in Panama. And that would be right outside our window here. We should be coming up on our 3.6 nautical miles. We'll start our turn. We are 8 minutes to top of descent. Once we reach top of descent, we'll go ahead and contact the airport. So that is this right here. Take a look at some of the pictures there. You can go there for $193. Looks like a very luxurious area there. Probably a good place to go on a honeymoon. Don't have a whole lot of people, you know, trying to scalp you for your money. Looks very nice. That would be that right there. Okay, so we are now 7 nautical miles, or 0.7 nautical miles. Here's our turn. And we are 6 minutes and 43 seconds, top of descent. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and real quickly ask Bing about the Panama Canal, and then we'll start setting up for our landing. What can you tell us about the Panama Canal?
Searching for Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is a lock-type canal that connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the narrow Isthmus of Panama. The canal was completed in 1914 by the United States after France had failed to finish the project due to engineering problems and high worker mortality rate. The canal was controlled by the United States until 1999, when it was transferred to Panama. The canal has 3 sets of locks that lift and lower ships to and from Gatun Lake, an artificial lake that was created to reduce the amount of excavation work required for the canal. The canal was expanded in 2016 to allow the passage of larger, new Panamax ships. The canal is now managed and operated by the Panama Canal Authority, a government-owned agency.
Regional 970 climb and maintain 14,000 feet.
And so in 1999, actually I was in the Navy Reserves. I had an opportunity to go to Panama for a month, and I passed up on it. I kicked myself to this day for passing up on that. I should have went. If I had to do it all over again, I would go in a heartbeat. I was going to be gone for a whole month, and we were going to be handing over the Panama Canal back to the Panamanians. So that was a, what was that? The Turismo Regional 970. Turismo Regional 970. Real quickly here. Plate radar 24. See if we can find a Turismo Regional 970 in the area. That would be in Panama. Not finding it. I'm not finding any kind of 970. Oh, there it is. That's the Turismo Regional 970, and that one is going to Panama City. So that is a Fokker 50. It's a German plane. Fokker is German. It's at 17,000 feet. So we might hear a little bit more interaction there with the Air Panama going from David. That's exactly our flight path. So they're doing our flight path, pretty much. Looks like they're flying over the mountains there a little bit more, going straight to Panama. We kind of went in this direction right here, and then we're headed to Panama. Panama City, that is. So we are now, come on, 3 minutes from top of descent. I'm going to go ahead and contact Panama Center. Can I contact the airport? Okay.
Panama Center, Cessna November Charlie,
Okay,
77 Charlie Charlie, 10,000 feet.
Cessna November Charlie, 77 Charlie
283.
Charlie, Panama Center altimeter,
I forgot that I put it on hold, contacting them. So the nearest airport list, we are looking for Mike Papa Alpha. That would be the Howard Air Force Base, to the tower, and we're going to request a
Tower
full
Cessna
landing.
November Charlie, 77 Charlie Charlie Tree, 8 miles southwest.
So we're 38
10,000
miles
feet to
away
land.
still, but in real life you don't
Cessna
go
November
this
Charlie,
far away.
77 Charlie Charlie Tower.
283,
Altimeter
36.
29.83, wind calm, fly straight, in runway tree 6.
Make straight in runway tree 6 Cessna
So
7
what
Charlie
we
Charlie.
want to do now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a direct to our initial approach fix. That saves us from flying, circling around like this. So we're going to go do a direct on that. We'll activate that. So that changes our trajectory just a little bit there. We will be flying over, and then our top of descent, that changed that too a little bit. So we are going to fly over the, I guess a gulf right there, over the water just a little bit. We are now 24 nautical miles from our initial approach fix. By the time we get to our initial approach fix, we should be at 3,200 feet. We are now 1 minute away from top of descent. Beautiful evening here in Panama City. This is where we can save some time on our downhill. And we'll have to monitor the prop speed though, make sure that the prop doesn't spin too fast. Now in real life, you would want to have this like probably in the middle of the green, but in Flight Simulator, just to save a little time, I usually have it right at the top. And now our vertical path is active, and we are now starting our descent. Backing off on the props just a little bit. Wanted to look real quick on our fuel remaining. So we have 14.6 gallons remaining, 13.4 used. So we have plenty of fuel there. Backing off a little bit more on our prop. Going to 113 knots indicated airspeed. We do have a 11 knot headwind. I had just now pressed the approach button here, the APR button. And what that did is that loaded our GP or a glide path. So we are set up both vertically and horizontally now for our landing. We are doing an RNAV approach, area navigation approach. We've contacted the airport already, and it's all sightseeing here from here. All sightseeing and also monitoring our instruments. We have a runway right below us there. And that would be Mike Papa Charlie Mike. Almost looks like a mine right there. In this area right here. Not really finding that. It might be this right here, which isn't really anything. Yeah, that's a mine. Manufacturer. That's what that is. Hills below us there. A few hills. So we're going to fly over the water. What we'll do is we'll cut repo right there. We'll cut right here toward Pitney, and then Vure is our final approach phase. Vure, we should be at 1,800 feet. We have all of our vertical navigation all set up. I've got my vertical or my altitude select at 1,800 feet. I'm looking forward here in maybe a day or 2 or 3 days. We'll do a flight along the Panama Canal. We'll go to the west side. We'll just do a low-level flight there from this side of the Panama Canal to the Pacific parts of the Atlantic side. I do believe that right about here is where our runway is. I don't see any weather. There's a cloud right there. I don't see any weather on the radar. I think we'll be okay. We're going in a little bit denser atmosphere now. I have to really watch my speed that we don't overspeed. The air density is a little thicker now. Further down we go. I'm almost to the yellow there on my fuel. But again, we should be on the ground here in probably about 10 minutes or so. Backing off just a little more on the prop. Just a little bit. 5 nautical miles from Repo, our initial approach fits. Few islands there. Back off a little more on my power. We are now at our initial approach fits, and we are at about 3,200 or 3,300. In a little bit here. So we're going to maintain this altitude here, adjusting the power accordingly. So we'll maintain this altitude. No, actually we are still descending right here. We got a bottom of descent right there at Pitney. Pitney, we should be at about 2,400. That's our destination right there. We are less than 1,000 feet from our assigned altitude, or altitude select, which is 1,800 feet. CNP271. I think that, isn't that the plane that we saw earlier? Nope. CNP271. 49. There it is right there. So that is a Boeing 737 coming in from Cancun to Panama City. Both beautiful places. So we are now at Pitney. So they're coming in from Cancun, and we're coming in from David. We've already contacted the tower. So we got another top of descent right here. Hopefully they'll give us the priority, I don't know. We're on our vertical path, is active again. We do have our glide path loaded, our GP loaded. I am now going full rich on my mixture. Still coming in pretty fast. We got a 12 knot headwind. And it's just about sunset. Backing off on the power a little bit here. Want to expedite a little bit. Should be reaching bottom of descent here in about a minute. 1 minute to bottom of descent right here. We are lined up with the runway. Visibility is good tonight. I have my feet on the rudder pedals. Our glide path should be going active here shortly. Vertical path right now is still controlling our descent rate. We're going to go ahead and, okay, we are now on a glide path, and I'm going to go ahead and do flaps. The first setting of flaps right there to bring our nose down. Bring it down to the G there. Look at that. It's like some oil refineries or something down there.
Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie is unfamiliar with the area.
I'm familiar with it.
Request directions to the airport.
I wanted to make sure I got the right.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie Airport is 12 o'clock 6 miles.
So we are. I don't know why it didn't clear me to land yet. I did say 36, didn't he? Full flaps. There's the PST 970. Power to adjust accordingly. Keep it around a G.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie wind 335 at 7.
335
Clear
at
to
7.
land runway tree 6.
Cleared to land runway tree 6 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
We got a 7 knot wind at 335, and this is 36, so pretty much straight in, maybe off to our coming from our left a little bit. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? All the way in on this. Losing a little bit of speed there. Air density. Thicker air density. Outside air temperature 27 degrees Celsius. 80 degrees outside. Mixture's rich. The speed is really varying quite a bit, but I still got about a 10 knot, 11 knot headwind. We said it was at 7. Flaps are full. Got 1 white, 3 red on her happy. Okay, we are now flying hand. Autopilot again. And got some trees right there. Coming in a little fast. Backing off on the speed. For that 1,000-foot marker. Okay, I'm going idle now. Flare, gently down, gently down. Oh, that wasn't a whole lot.
Cessna 7
Gently
Charlie
there.
Charlie, exit runway when able.
Flaps up. Still got about 11 knot wind there. So she said 7, but whenever we were landing,
Charlie, exit runway when able.
it was a little bit more than 7.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, contact ground on 121.1.
121.1 for Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie. Ground Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie, taxi to parking.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie, taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha.
Welcome to Panama City. And it is right around sunset here. I thought we were going to have a little bit more daylight, actually.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, please acknowledge.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
So our next flight will be a tour flight. It'll be in the middle of the day. And we will take a look at the Panama Canal. So we'll probably take off from this airport here, fly down to Panama Canal, and then come back at this airport here. And there's our faithful friends to guide us in. Alrighty, welcome to Panama, ladies and gentlemen, on our trip to South America. So I wanted to really quickly look at the fuel that we used. We used 15.7 gallons. We got 12.3 gallons remaining. So we started off at 50% and we got less than 25% now remaining. And I still don't know why this is flashing like this. Since the last update here, since 13380, every time I land, my mouse is flashing, and then this is flashing every time I land. So that's just an anomaly that we'll have to live with. I don't know if everybody's getting this, but I certainly am. Since the last update, I don't have any anything installed. No community folder or no add-ons at all. And so I have, this is all the original Microsoft Flight Simulator. F6 right here. Let's take a look at Panama City real quick. And it is getting dark. But here, ladies and gentlemen, is Panama City. So we're at the Air Force Base. This is probably the main runway right here for the city, I would imagine. But this is Panama City, and we're going to go along the beachfront right here. And this is the hotel we're staying at. This is actually the one of the top floors right here that we're going to stay at. And we'll have dinner down below. We got a good all-you-can-eat shrimp dinner down below, and then we'll stay right here. And look at this interesting building right here, kind of like a swirl or a screwdriver type, a wood screw building. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Panama City. We'll take again a look at Panama City whenever we do our flight along the Panama Canal. Thus ends another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, flying to South America and back. Have a good evening.